Hi guys, good evening and welcome back to Gradeup. My name is Harshmeet Singh and you're watching me live on the Gradeup IAS YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing good and I'm happy to see all of you coming back here. This is class number 4 of the ongoing mini series. As you know, in this week we decided to have a mini series from Monday to Friday so that we can cover all the important topics relating to the higher judiciary in India. So the objective is to cover everything regarding higher judiciary in India, everything regarding Supreme Court and the High Court, so that in the 5 classes from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you would cover everything and you do not need to go anywhere else. That is the objective. I'm glad you have seen those classes. If you have not, it is on the YouTube channel of Gradeup IAS. So do see the earlier classes also. In the earlier classes, we had discussed in detail about the Supreme Court of India and the High Court of India, appointment of judges, removal of judges, their jurisdiction, and everything else has been covered. Today's topic, that is class number 4 in the mini series, is pending cases in the courts in India. So the pending cases, that is, all of you know, there are a lot of cases pending in the courts of India right now. Over 3.8 crore cases are pending in the Indian courts right now. 3.8 crore. Now, 3.8 crore is a huge number. These are the kind of cases that are pending in the Indian courts. Now, we will be discussing why is this the case? What are the reasons behind such a large number of pending cases? Can it be resolved? Is there some solution to the problem, or is there something else which we do not understand? This is what our objective will be in the class today. Good evening to all of you, those who have joined in once again. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you share it with your friends also, and make sure that you subscribe to the Gradeup IAS YouTube channel as well अगर अभी तक नहीं किया है. Now the reality is, as I said, in India, over 3.8 crore cases are pending right now. Just this data is according to the National Judicial Data Grid. Many of these cases, lakhs and lakhs of cases, are pending for more than 10 years. Now, this is a horrible number for anyone who is seeking justice in the country. Anyone who is looking to get justice in the country. See, it is easy to say that देर है अंधेर नहीं, but at the end of the day, justice delayed is also justice denied. You have to understand there are many cases where courts are giving decisions after 40 years, after 50 years, after 30 years. Let's imagine that someone did something wrong to you and you go to the court against that person, and just imagine if the person is giving the punishment 30 years after he committed the crime. 30 years. Just imagine, would you like it or not? Just imagine, would it make any sense or not? Justice delayed is justice denied, and that is why increasing number of pending cases lowers the confidence of the people also, lowers the confidence of the people who are looking to get justice. It increases the confidence of those people who are committing these crimes, right? Now, I'll tell you, Manish. Hi, Pragya. Now, as I said, these numbers that I have taken are being taken from National Judicial Data Grid. Go to this website, just Google search this name, National Judicial Data Grid, and you will see the number of pending cases. This is a screenshot I took today. So, as of now, today, these are the total cases that are pending in India. These are the total criminal cases pending, civil cases pending, the cases which are over 1 year old, etc. And you can see a lot of these numbers on this website. You can also see the state-wise cases if you want on this particular website, National Judicial Data Grid, for anyone who wants to check the number of pending cases in the courts in India. Now, let's look at some of the reasons. Number one, the first reason, increase in the awareness of rights of common man. You have to understand that with increasing technology, with increasing awareness, a lot more people know what are their rights. Earlier, many people were not aware of their rights. They did not know on what topic can they ask questions to the government, on what topic is the government answerable to them, how can they ask for their rights from the government. All these things were not really in the minds of the people. As we have new technology in the hands of the people, as you have more mobile phones, more internet access, more knowledge around you, you see many more people willing to go to court. Second, new mechanisms such as PIL and RTI. RTI, PIL, these have led to many more cases in the court because courts now are willing to entertain cases even when you are not associated with the case. Earlier, the logic was you can only appeal in the court or you can only go to court if you are related to the case. You cannot go to court if you are not related to the case. But now, through the PIL, you can file a case on behalf of the public. Through RTI, you can ask for information. If you don't get the required information, then again you can go to court. So these new concepts of PIL, RTI, etc., have made sure that people in these cases or people who are actually filing or willing to file cases have more options, and that is why we have more cases pending. Third, and the most important one, which many of you would be aware, not enough judges. This is a long debate that we have had. For the size that India has, the number of judges that we require are much, much, much higher. The number of judges in India are only around 21,000. Just imagine, for a population about 138 crores, to have number of people, to have number of judges that are only 21,000. Currently, the ratio of the judges is very bad, 10 is to 1 lakh. The Law Commission report back in 1987 said that the number of judges should be 50 over every 10 lakh, means at least 5 times. And see what has been done so far. The center says that the states should take the responsibility, that is, the states should make sure that there are more district judges, because at the end of the day, appointing district judges or lower judiciary judges is the responsibility of the state government. Center say that the state should be much more vigilant. On the other hand, the states say that the center should take the lead, because in high courts also, you have so many benches, you have so many posts that are vacant. So both the state judicial, both the state government and the central government are to be held responsible for this situation. Over half of the posts are vacant. The judges in Supreme Court, High Court, there are so many positions that are still lying empty. Not just this, in the courts, in the Supreme Court, in the High Court, we still have long vacations. We still have concepts of summer vacations, vacations on different purposes. All these vacations take place even though we have so many cases pending in the court. This concept of vacation was invented by the British when the British were here. But even after the British went away, judges thought it's good to have vacation. So we still have, even in the Supreme Court, if you look at the Supreme Court website, you will see that the number of working days in the Supreme Court in 1 year are not even 200. Do you know that? Not even 200 days in a year does the Supreme Court work. They take such long vacations when so many cases are pending in the courts. Now, from not enough judges to not enough courts as well. The problem and the reality is that the government does not give enough financial resources for the judiciary. The budget that is given to the judiciary is very, very, very little. 0.1 to 0.4% of the whole budget is given to judiciary, which is extremely bad. India needs many more courts, many more benches, so that the people who are coming to get justice are not neglected. The other problem which we don't realize, there is too much litigation from the side of the government. If you look at the Supreme Court specifically, over 3/4 of the cases are as such where government is one party. In fact, the hilarious part is you will find many cases in which one government department is fighting a case against the other government department. Supreme Court may you'll see cases of center versus the state. If the center government loses the case in the High Court, they will always appeal in the Supreme Court. The government just has too many cases that is involved in. The government does not want to end any case. They just want to keep on filing appeals so that the next government can come and see the final decision. The lower judiciary in India specifically lacks a lot of quality. The quality of judges in the lower court is much lesser than desirable. They don't have any specialization. Most of them lack knowledge, especially about the new kind of laws that have come up, the new kind of problems that has come up. Meaning that almost every case from the lower court is appealed in the high court and then in the Supreme Court. So the burden just keeps on increasing. The laws that we have themselves are not great. There are many laws in India which are over 100 years old. Just imagine. India still has many laws that the British passed for us. There are laws passed for us in 1880s, 1890s, the 1900s. There are many laws which are older than the constitution. And when we make new laws, there is just a complex structure that is formed. The new laws have something and the old laws mix into them, and that is why the cases just keep on going on, because the lawyers then find loopholes in those laws and the case is never resolved. Now, the one easy solution that everyone would say is, why don't we just increase the number of judges? Let's just increase the number of judges and everything will improve, right? That is the first thing that comes to your mind. Former Chief Justice of India, Justice T.S. Thakur, said, we should have at least double the judges that we have now. India should have at least 40,000 judges, if not more. He also blamed the central government that they are not appointing judges at the speed that is required. The recent, in the 2019, the economic survey said that we should have at least 8 more judges in the Supreme Court when we had 31. But the government only appointed 3 more judges and not 8. So government obviously is one side of the dispute that is to be blamed because of their attitude and their habit of stalling the appointment. One of the reasons why a lot of new judges are not appointed all of a sudden is there is a fear of degrading quality. There is a fear of degrading quality. There is a fear that if we appoint a lot of judges all of a sudden, the quality might degrade. And we work on the principle that even if justice is delayed, that is fine, but we can't have bad justice. But there has to be kind of a balance between the two. We can't just keep on delaying the justice system, or we just can't keep on delaying these kind of cases if we know that it is not helping it. There is also a provision, as I said, the judges still take a lot of big vacations. In 2014, the Chief Justice of India, R.M. Lodha, said that judiciary should work throughout the year, especially in the higher courts. As I said, if you look at the Supreme Court's working calendar, you will see they don't even work for 200 days in a year, which is very, very, very. However, this proposal was not accepted by the lawyers also. The lawyers said that if judges started working throughout the year, if the courts are open throughout the year, 12 months in a year, then their work will also increase. Now, as you see, everything is intermingled. Koi bhi to kuch nahi hai na. Right? When you increase the number of working days of judges, obviously judges will not be happy, but the advocates are also unhappy. If the courts are open, we also have to come in. So that is why every party or every stakeholder has to be consulted. Now, because of so many pending cases, there is always a lot of downside to it. If I tell you, you file a case in the court and you will get judgment after 10 years, 15 years, obviously you will be you will obviously not like that. That is why the faith of the common man in the judicial system is very low. Many people don't even prefer going to the court because they know a lot of money will be spent, decision will not be given in the fast time period, and they would have to wait for many, many years. In fact, not just Indians, foreign companies don't come to India because they know if they have any problem with the government or with anyone and they file a case, it will be many years before the decision is given. So it is not just bad for the Indians, it is also bad for us as a country because we want to attract investment from foreign countries, and that is not happening because of the complicated judicial system that we have made, because of the lazy judicial system that we have made. Because all of that is when you attract some company to come to India, spend money, invest in India, we are selling a whole package to them. We will give you infrastructure, we will give you permissions very quickly, we will give you skillful labor, we'll give you low tax rates, and obviously if something goes bad, we will also give you efficient judiciary. That is a big part of the entire India package that we sell to the world. And if that part is not taken care of, the judiciary part, the entire package is not complete. That is why judiciary also has to be reformed in such a way that someone coming from outside, obviously it is a no one wants to go into the court, but when someone comes in from outside, they should have confidence in the Indian judicial system, obviously. Now there are many solutions to this problem. First, and the very obvious is have more judges. At least 50,000 judges is the need of the hour, more than double of what we have. We can also have a new All India Judicial Service, just like we have the All India Administrative Services. The NJAC controversy, the collegium that is still existing and faces a lot of criticism, that can be changed or there can be some alterations in that. We should have more fast track courts, more encouragement to Lok Adalat so that people can take their cases, they resolve quickly. We can also have regional branches of Supreme Court. I have told this to you earlier as well. One of the problems with the Supreme Court is there is only one Supreme Court, that is in Delhi. Now, for someone who does not live in Delhi, someone living in, let's say, Tamil Nadu, someone living in Nagaland, someone living in Gujarat, for them, coming to Delhi to file a case in the Supreme Court is not that easy. Even if you look in the Supreme Court, the number of cases that come from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka are very, very low as compared to number of cases that come from UP, Punjab, Delhi, etc. That is because the court is not very near to them. So the idea is we should have more branches or more benches of court. One in Delhi, one Mumbai, one Calcutta, one maybe Ahmedabad, one maybe in Chennai, one maybe somewhere in Guwahati, so that people can approach the Supreme Court without having to come to Delhi. The National Court of Appeal also is a pretty good idea, I believe. National Court of Appeal means the problem with the Supreme Court is Supreme Court was made for very serious kind of cases. The Supreme Court was made to have cases of government heard. Supreme Court was made so that we could have constitutional cases. But now, because the Supreme Court has so much burden of cases by appeal, from the High Court, every case is filed in Supreme Court as an appeal. That Supreme Court is not able to actually listen to important matters. Supreme Court is stuck in just hearing the appeal cases from the High Court. The idea is after we should form a new court called National Court of Appeal. Means after the High Court, if someone has to file a case after High Court, the case should go to National Court of Appeals. It should not go to Supreme Court. Supreme Court should be just reserved for government cases, for constitutional matters, for human rights cases. That is the important ones. But there are many cases in Supreme Court which are so negligible. There are cases that you would not believe. There are cases in the Supreme Court about traffic challans, about tenant and landlord issue because the case was in the High Court and it was appealed in the Supreme Court. All of that because you can file a case by appeal in the Supreme Court. That should not be the case. Supreme Court is only for very important cases. It should remain like that. For these kind of cases after High Court, the case should go to another similar court called National Court of Appeal, rather than having Supreme Court listen into these kind of matters. This brings me to the end of class number 4, where we had discussed about the issue of pending cases in the court. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to like the video, comment whatever you thought about that class. Do share it with your friends and subscribe to the Gradeup IAS YouTube channel. Also, if you are planning to write the IAS examination in 2021, 22 or 23, join the Gradeup Super subscription. The IAS course has over 500 live interactive classes, over 500 notes, practice questions, and a lot more. You have different options to choose your plan, whatever you like, and you can become a Gradeup Super member. The advantages that you get are you will get access to all the running and upcoming courses, structured day-by-day study plans, expert faculties, best study material, and a lot more. These are the faculty members who will be taking your classes. I take polity, governance, international relations. Most of these are highly experienced, having appeared for their own interviews. They know what is required for the examination. I'm sure you have attended many of their classes. A lot of new faculties have also been added recently. We are also on Telegram. Search for Gradeup IAS preparation. Join the channel to get free study material and short notes. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Do catch me tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is the last class of this mini series where we will be discussing about PIL and curative petition. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Bye bye. Take care. See you tomorrow, same time at 7:30.